Now we move to the fifth and the final book launch. It's a very big book launch, and it's the most awaited one. It's titled Fruitful Insights by Dr. Prasanna NS and his co-authors. Dr. Prasanna is a farmer turned biologist who work covers plant ecology, evolution, and sustainable agriculture. He's currently a consultant at ATREE and also writes a science column in Kannada to make ecological knowledge more accessible. Fruitful Insights bring together his learnings from the field, farm, and lab, offering simple, practical, and science-based ways to understand the plant world. So I'd request Mr. Prasanna to come and launch his book. I'd request Madan sir, the co-founder of MXR World, to join him in launching his book.
There are also the two co-authors, Dr. Ravikant and Dr. Ipsa. I would like to invite them on the stage.
I'd have Prasanna and his co-authors take the stage.
Thank you, GLF team. Just to set the record straight, this is a work of 6 of us academics trying to do a bit of popular science. So it's not just the work of me alone. So we have Dr. Ravikant and Dr. Ipsa here, and Professor Uma Shankar, as well as Professor Kamaljit Bawa and Dr. Ganeshan. They're all contributed to this book. And there couldn't be a better place than this to launch this particular book on fruit trees. Not just because it's in the park, Kaban Park, but the very place played a major role in introducing lots of crops, including fruit trees, into India. For example, the Kaban Park and the neighboring Lal Bagh played a major role in introducing many of the fruit trees and fruit crops into Mysore state and the present Karnataka. So the book is all about fruits and fruit trees. Why fruit trees? It gives an added advantage that it's also important from the nature conservation perspective, and fruits, especially fleshy fruits, also contribute to the nutritional security of the people. But fruits, when we think of any fruits or table fruits, we don't really think much about it. We absent-mindedly cut them every other day. But if you think of it, they're like evolutionarily marvel. There is a story hidden for almost 100 years when angiosperm evolved and they were wondering how to disperse their seeds away from the plant. Because the moment you have the seeds or fruits right below the tree, it will create a competition. Your own kids will be a competitor for the resources. So fruits evolved an ingenious mechanism where they covered this. Plants evolved a mechanism where they covered the seeds with fleshy, colorful, sugary fruits. Yeah. So, yeah. Next, please. Yeah. So this is Mark Cubbon, who also played some of the major role in introducing some fruit crops to the state of Mysore. Next. Yeah. So almost over 140 million years ago, the story of fruit begins when the angiosperm evolved. And gradually they were diversifying. And at that time, there were dinosaurs and other mega herbivores, which played a major role in dispersing the fruits. The avocado that we eat today You might wonder why it has such a huge seed covered by a very buttery, fleshy part. It was supposed to be dispersed by a mega herbivore. So that's why it's a adaptation to that. We lost the mega herbivore, but we still relish the avocados. But as throughout in the evolutionary scale, like as we moved closer to the human domestication, we have considerably modified them. We have selected them. Can we go to the next one? Yeah. So fleshy fruits are only one of the ways where they can entice the animals to carry that. But some of the fruits have also, plants have used the water, wind, and some of them also blast and disperse the seeds. That's some of the mechanisms that they have evolved. In India, we have quite a few interesting interactions that happen with the fruit trees. There are spotted deers that feed on the amla trees. There are elephants that pluck the fruit from the jackfruit. There are bats that feed and disperse on the many of the fruit trees, as well as the hornbills. So we generally think of land animals of the major dispersers, but if you really look at some of the examples, this is really astonishing. So if you look at the pacu fish from Amazon, which actually feeds on the riverine species of fruit tree species. They jump out of the water. They also disperse whenever there is a flood. They go with the flood and then eat the fruits, disperse the seeds hundreds of kilometers away in the Amazonian rivers. There are many such interesting interactions that happen because of the fruits and then the dispersers. There are also other mutualisms that are evolved with fruits. For example, fig and fig wasps. There are wasps which are evolved in co-evolved with fig species. If we lose the figs species, we also lose the wasp, or if we lose the wasp, fig can't reproduce. Such intricate relationships are there in the forests of India. And it's not just fruits. Trees have influenced the animals. They have also influenced other primates, including us. Recently, there was a study looking at how much fermented fruit these chimpanzees actually consume. They love fermented fruits because there is alcohol at the end of the day. And they have evolved a mechanism to digest the alcohol so that they don't get too tipsy while walking in the forest. But they have also influenced our vision itself. The human vision, which have trichromatic vision, is supposed to have evolved in response to spotting a ripe fruit in the forest when we were still hunter-gatherers, and even other primates also have this kind of trichromatic vision, because we could spot the red or yellow bright-colored fruit. That is an added advantage, and thanks to fruits for that. But it's not just the ecology of fruits. Fruits have been involved in our everyday life, everyday culture. We have heard the story of Shabari from the Ramayana. We know that it's part of our Harappa and Mohenjo-daro and other cultures. The terracotta figure on the right side is actually from Mohenjo-daro, where there are fig leaves depicted. Most of the parsley design or mango design, if you look up onto the roof, you see the mango-shaped designs here, which is actually inspired by the mangoes. That adorns most of our cloths, walls, and everywhere. And many of the festivals, fruits are a major part of that. If you travel about 100 kilometers from here in the Shravanabelagula, which is known for a monolithic statue of Bahubali, there are small sculptures like this where they depict the interactions between fruits and animals. You can, on the left hand image, you can see a monkey holding a jackfruit. So such sculptures and motifs are very common in our iconography as well. But most of the fruits that we eat today or see in the bazaars actually come from different parts of the world. For example, avocado, papaya, guava, all that we see today in the market or in the farms nearby, they all come from South America. Most of the melons and other fruits came from the Africa. So human uh, have played a major role in dispersing some of these fruits. And also we have modified them considerably. So wild fruits, most of them were not really that sugary or tasty or colorful or filled with lots of seeds. But due to domestication spanning hundreds of years, we have actually modified them to have very sugary, very aromatic, very less seedy. In case of banana, almost absence of seeds nowadays. In that, but there are also fruits that traveled out of India. For example, this is mango, which is native to India and many parts of the Southeast Asia. We started domestication in India, but only recently people started in the global north realized that okay, only few hundred years ago they realized that there is an interesting fruit, so that we carried them to the other places. Now, although mango is native to India, some of the countries in South America actually grow more mangoes than us and make more money out of it. So we do have such wealth of fruits in India. But generally we think of only table fruits, mangoes, bananas, papayas, and few others. But India has a wealth of wild edible fruits. Many of you might have actually grown up eating some of these wild edible fruits. From Himalayas to the coast, we have a very diverse kind of fruit trees across India. And many of them we haven't really tasted. These are the powerhouses of nutrients. They are climate resilient, but we have largely ignored them. And many of them are actually endangered, in the sense their population is declining for various reasons. It could be over harvesting in some cases. It could be habitat degradation in most of the landscapes. So we are losing them before even domestication yeah. So many of them are threatened by the climate change itself, and forest fire and many other things actually affect their sustainable production. But they do play a major role in the forest. For example, they store lots of carbon. They change the soil structure, make it better for holding more water. They sustain lots of animal species that are native to India. So there is a need to conserve these. There is a need to release these in a sustainable way. But there is one larger problem. If you look at the fruit consumption in India, which is much low, very, very low compared to the national, global standards that are set by the FAO. We consume very less fruit, largely because it is costlier compared to the other countries. People have to invest more in buying the fruits, despite having a very diverse pool of fruits trees in India. So this book is an attempt to actually sensitize everyone that fruit trees do play a major role in our economic, ecological, and nutritional security. And just to remind everyone that whenever we pluck fruit from the tree or buy a bag of fruits, we should remember that it's a product of millions of years of evolution. They carry the stories of India's ecology, and also in the face of climate change, they can be a better answer if we can have the fruit trees everywhere, from the forests, from the lands, in the schoolyards, as well as in every place. So that's the attempt that we have made in book. Book will be available from January in most of the bookstores. Thank you.
Just to add, there are a lot of interesting stuff in the book as well. For example, can we live by fruits alone? Okay, and what is the best combination of fruits to get the good nutrients? What time of the day it is best to eat fruits, and what is a bathroom fruit? And a lot of interesting stuff about the fruits are available in this book. So please read it and enjoy.